Since humankind first experienced the natural phenomenon of the aurora borealis, we've been spellbound by their extraordinary beauty as they shimmer against the inky backdrop of a starry night sky. These celestial displays of green, yellow and red that dance like a sheep blowing in the wind have over time inspired artists and poets, aroused myths and legends. Though never a guarantee, one of the best places to view the phenomenon of the Northern Lights is in northern Norway during the winter months between November and March. And nature has conspired to make this location an inspiration in itself. Considered to be one of the world's most unspoilt destinations, Arctic Norway remains one of the great natural wonders of the world. Along its long, lonely coast, still the true heart of the country, majestic peaks blanketed in snow rise out of the sea. The air is so fresh you can actually taste it. It's truly an unspoilt, unimaginably captivating wilderness. There's probably no better way to experience the Northern Lights and this majestic scenery than by sailing on board a ship from the Hurtigruten fleet. With daily departures year-round, this winter voyage sails across the Arctic Circle and beyond, meandering along the dramatic splendours of the frozen coast under the veil of the magical Arctic twilight. The covering of snow and ice brings with it a sense of peace and tranquility, especially when viewed from the safe haven of the ship. For over a century, the ships of the Norwegian coastal voyage, or Hurtigruten, have carried passengers, mail and supplies to over 30 ports along the Norwegian coastline, offering a lifeline to remote communities, particularly throughout the winter months. Small towns become cosy refuges as the ship pulls into harbour to welcome new passengers on board. Some ports are home to just a few hundred people, and the ship may stay for only minutes before departing again. In others, there's time to disembark and briefly explore these Arctic outposts of Norwegian life. Even the larger ports of call on this voyage take on a magical air when seen with a covering of snow in the clear winter light. Trondheim, Norway's first capital, is an attractive city all year round, but with its winter coat becomes a perfect picture postcard stop-off. Trondheim's landmark, the magnificent Gothic cathedral, is considered one of the grandest in Northern Europe and marks the site of the grave of Saint Olav, the great Viking king of Norway. Trondheim is easily explored on foot, and just a short walk from the cathedral is the Old Town Bridge. The 18th and 19th century riverfront warehouses, either side of the river, are now the home of restaurants, bars and coffee shops. Further north, Tromsø, the capital of Arctic Norway, is the start and end point for many voyages. Here, the cathedral reflects Tromsø's Arctic location. Equally daring in its design is Polaria, Tromsø's Museum of the Arctic. Inside there are films and exhibits about life in the Arctic and an aquarium housing bearded seals, the tunnel under the tank being the highlight for most visitors. Although much of the voyage can be spent above the Arctic Circle, travelling at the same latitude as Siberia and Alaska, the warming influence of the Gulf Stream helps create the largest ice-free polar coast. All the ships in the fleet are purpose-built for these waters and vary depending on their size and age, but all come with their own individual style and character. On board the ships, large, comfortable panoramic lounges are complemented by bars and a restaurant serving celebrated Norwegian cuisine. Generally on this voyage, travellers don't spend much time in their cabins, but it is possible to upgrade to a larger suite with a double bed, subject to availability.